and welcome to the Boomtown Hoops Emergency Trade Show. I'm your host, Bobby Howard. With me, we got Jameson, we got Josh, and let's be honest, kind of thought we'd have more to break down today. Only one trade from the Thunder, George Hill to Philadelphia, in exchange for Tony Bradley and Austin Rivers. That's fantastic. Let's just start off with the big question. Jameson, did you want to see the Thunder do more here?
Well, yeah, because it's kind of just a year where, how do you expect Mike Muscala to come back in free agency? Anyone who's on an expiring contract, if they have any value in the slightest, they should be thought about and be dealt. I understand Mike Muscala really enjoys it here in Oklahoma City, but I was extremely surprised to see that he was not moved whenever we've been kind of DNPing him recently. It does not make much sense, and we still have time to see a deal happen, but that's definitely an extremely surprising move for me.
Yeah, that is true. We have seen teams and Sam Presti in the past kind of sneak in right under that goal line, get a deal kind of done. They can still talk about it, but if nothing's going on right now, it won't happen. We just got word that the Spurs have no trade from LaMarcus Aldridge, for example. They're done there. No word on anything else. Josh, are you surprised by the kind of lack of big play here from Presti?
Kinda, I guess. The George Hill trade was the only one that I knew would happen. That one, the writing was on the wall there. It made no sense for him to remain with the Thunder. It seemed like Al Horford was not going to happen because his contract was too hard to move. There didn't seem to be a suitor. So it was kind of one of those things. It was like, is Presti just going to surprise us somewhere else? Obviously, Muscala seemed like the most obvious other guy to get moved. I thought there was a chance maybe you package him in the George Hill trade if you can find the right team and maybe try to get your return to be a little bit better. But obviously it didn't happen. So yes and no. I'm always kind of expecting Sam Presti to do something and to make splashes, especially, the way he's been trading guys for the last, couple of years here. But the George Hill was the only player I felt very confident I would have put money on would not still be on the Thunder after today. Everybody else was a little more hit or miss. And so obviously we'll see what happens here. I don't know what to make of the Austin Rivers part of this. Obviously we'll get into that in a second, but I didn't think Al Horford would get moved. And so it was really just a question of Muscala to me, because they already said they're keeping Kenny Hustle. So it was really just what happened to Muscala. So while it may seem underwhelming, it's not that surprising to me, really.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of those things that's really... I was accidentally playing our own show. It's really surprising to me because, I saw some of these other little pieces getting moved, maybe, down the line, like we mentioned, Muscala getting DNPs like crazy. Mm-hmm. I was, unconvinced that we're going to get rid of Al just due to the size. I'm with you there.
Unlikely. It seemed really unlikely to move Al. It didn't seem like it was going to happen.
Yeah, but I agree. But that's what the offseason is for. So let's break down what the Thunder got here. And do you think this was a good return for George Hill, Jameson?
It's probably about average. You get an interesting big man in Tony Bradley that's young that we'd like to take a look at. He's on an expiring deal, so if we like him, we can move forward with him and sign him to a smaller deal moving forward. But if we don't like him, we're not attached to him. I know a lot of people are concerned about Austin Rivers. I read some reports that we're looking to buy him out possibly, but Presti is not a guy who likes to buy out people. We do have 16 players on the roster right now. So assuming we cut Myers Leonard, that would put us down to 15. So we don't have to cut Austin Rivers. He's got $3.5 million this year, then 2 more years of unguaranteed money. So he might want to take a cut and just buy out since we don't really want to play him at the guard because we believe so much in our young guards right now. So Austin Rivers, I don't think is going to be a factor at all in this team, whether he stays or he goes.
Yeah, I don't think he has a fit here in Oklahoma City at all, both with where the Thunder's heading, where he's at in his career. It just doesn't make any sense other than, taking on some cap there because, as noted, the 76ers needed to get rid of Terrence Ferguson. Can't send him back to Oklahoma City due to the trade we made with them back in November, so have to get money coming in a different way. Josh, what do you think of Tony Bradley? Do you know anything about the guy? We got Hunter over here saying he's a future most improved type of guy.
Yeah.
I know Joel Embiid's big on him.
I was about to say, yeah. Joel Embiid loves him. Yeah, I mean, he seems like a potential piece. Obviously, if Sam Presti likes him, then I like him. Kind of one of those things. I mean, he's 23. It's his fourth year. He doesn't get a whole lot of minutes, but his per 36 minutes is pretty good. He's like averaging a double-double. He's either close or is averaging a double-double if you give him about 30, 35 minutes. So I'm with that, and we'll see. He's got some size. We can always appreciate that, and we'll see. I think it's a nice addition. I think, again, if Presti likes him, I like him. We'll have one of those things. Also, just kind of throw in before I use my brain and T-Ferg can't come back to Thunder. I wanted to just throw my phone. Getting T-Ferg back was going to make me really upset, but glad that first off can't happen, but also didn't happen. And then a couple more picks, because why not? That's 34 picks in the next 7 years now. And obviously it's not like we're going to – people act like the Thunder is going to draft 34 guys, and that's not – obviously that's not what they're going to do. They have all these picks that you can package to move up. And anytime – I mean, I would think that the next star player who, doesn't have a no trade, can't choose where he wants to go, and he wants out of where he's at, I mean, the Thunder are in because they have so many picks and so many assets to try and move. So I'm good with it. I'm good with the return. You get a player that you might be something. We'll see. A veteran to kind of bounce money out. You can maybe flip him for something else small and a couple more picks. So I'm good with it. And considering that George Hill was just, kind of another part of another trade, obviously, it's just kind of gravy, feels like to me.
Yeah. Hill was the guy that absolutely 100% needed to get moved here. It would have been a massive disappointment, I think, if you couldn't get rid of him. So getting any return for him, a promising prospect in Bradley, and then, more capital. That's beautiful right there.
Yeah, like I said, his numbers aren't bad. I mean, he plays 14 minutes a game and he's like 5-5. So obviously maybe a bigger role, the way the Thunder have shown they can develop players, Coach Dagnall this season, even just this season alone. There's certainly, I think, a reason to think that he could be a really good player. Yeah,
has a season high of 18 points. So good on you, Tony.
And like you said, Joel Embiid loves him. Said future. Said build. He told the Sixers to build around Tony Bradley, and then he said the Thunder should do the same.
Yeah, for sure. Jameson, your thoughts on Tony Bradley, real quick?
Yeah, I mean, we can get excited about him. He'll be productive. He'll have a couple moments where it's like, oh, wow, he's pretty good. Every single new player, you kind of just have this, you have the glasses on where you think that he's just like the next best thing. We're seeing it with Svi Mykhailiuk right now. Long-term goals, he's not going to be this game changer for the Thunder and guy that's going to be on our team whenever we're at our peak. So this is just a look at a young guy, see what it works out. If it doesn't, we're off the money. Remember, George Hill had money on his deal for next year, so this saves us in more cap room for the following free agency class even more. We can use that Steven Adams trade exception, take in $27.5 million up to contracts, and we don't have to send out anything. So if we go in free agency with this much cap room that we have, which is an unreal amount, I don't remember the number, we can just take people's bad contracts for draft assets for our free agency with our trade exceptions. We don't have to go and sign anybody. And honestly, we shouldn't. We should just take people on in their bad contracts, their trade exceptions, get more assets, and then continue on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the name of the game. Take back bad contracts. We're already we're below the floor. So we're at a point where we're going to have to start paying everyone because we legally cannot, pay less on our salary cap. So why not absorb bad contracts? That is a part of, that's an asset right there. Cap space is an asset. If you're not using it, you're basically wasting, a second round pick. So I'm for it. I got to ask, just in a overall form of, just looking at the NBA as a whole, what was the worst deal you've seen today? Not just the Thunder, just everywhere else. We do have Daniel Tice has been dealt to the Bulls. So that deal got through. That's great. So it's a total mess out here. Not a great return Houston getting for Victor Oladipo, but in general, Jameson, worst deal of the day you've seen so far.
I guess Oladipo is. I guess I'd consider it the worst. I'd probably second place would be Rondo. But let's talk about Oladipo because whenever it first got reported, it was Kelly Olynyk, Avery Bradley, and then a pick swap for Oladipo, which absolutely just blew my mind. I go, okay, hold up. Right now, the Thunder have a pick swap with we get the best 2 of 3 of Houston and Miami. Now Houston and Miami have a separate pick swap. I have no idea what year this is. This is going to get messy. It's a 2022 pick swap. So I was hoping some way we kind of work our way into that swap somehow and we could deal with this all over again. But looks like we're out of that. We don't have to worry about that. It's a separate deal. But Houston and Miami are going to be connected for the next, couple of years now. So pretty interesting. But the Victor Oladipo smoke, you know how stupid their leak was? They said that they had a chance to get a young player in a first. That was the biggest baloney I ever seen ever. If you watch the Rockets, Victor Oladipo has not been interesting to me at all. I don't get where he gets any of his free agency buzz. I've not been a fan of him since his injury. I just don't like his style, and I don't like the money he's going to garner. So no way anyone was going to take him for a 1 year when he's going to Miami anyways.
It was a bit of a mess. And, when you really look at the return they got for Harden, it just looks worse and worse. I think, in a way, maybe I would rather have that Karis LeVert deal and just kind of wait for him to come back or dish him than an Oladipo who's bound for Miami for
LeVert's killing it. LeVert had a dagger last night from a pullback 3, and he came off from renal cell carcinoma. This is not some kind of random tumor you found on your kidney. This is like a malignant tumor that is serious, and he bounced back from it, and he's looking great, and he's playing upwards of 30 minutes a game. Karis LeVert, very, very interesting. Victor Oladipo, not so much for me.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Josh, any bad deals? We can go in on the Rockets again if you want to. If not, that's all good. Any other notable kind of bad deals out there?
Not really. I thought the Bulls. I thought what the Magic got back for Vucevic was somewhat underwhelming. Compared to, I guess, what the Thunder were able to get, which isn't a fair comparison for their stars, what Presti's been able to swindle. But I did think what the Magic got back in the Nuggets trade was solid. The Aaron Gordon one. I thought that was a good return for Orlando there. I guess honestly, the trade that. I guess it makes sense, contracts and what have you, but the Blazers just kind of dealing off Gary Trent. I don't know, that's a player I feel like you hang on to. And Norman Powell's obviously a good pickup for them, but I would have liked to have kept Gary Trent if I was a Blazers fan. But I don't know. I thought most of the trades today I didn't think anything was just egregious throughout the day. Obviously, the Heat one, the only point you guys were talking about isn't great, but the Rockets also had just no leverage there at all. They knew he wanted to leave, and the Heat knows he wants to be here. They had nothing. So, but no, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy in my opinion. The Blazers moving off from Gary Trent, just that caught my eyes because he's such a solid young player that you're just kind of giving up on.
Yeah, that is weird. And I wasn't a huge fan of the Nuggets getting rid of RJ Hampton.
That's why the Magic have a nice little core now, because the Vucevic was not bad. Although, Wendell Carter, I don't know what he is. I don't know what he's going to be. I don't know if he's going to develop into what kind of a player. So he's going to be a question mark. But the Nuggets one, I liked getting RJ Hampton as a piece of that. I thought that was nice. That was a nice get for the Magic there.
Yeah, I think the Magic are definitely set up well for a rebuild here. They weren't going anywhere with Vucevic and Gordon in them, so tear it down, get some picks in, get some promising young players, and see where it goes. Jameson, your thoughts on that deal?
Yeah, I think the Magic are definitely in a good position moving forward. Vucevic, great player, but in their timeline, he's not. It's as simple as that. Your number one player. If you look around the league, some of the best big men, your number one player needs to be a wing, and they need to find one. And, they're dipped their toes on RJ Hampton, see if that works out. And they get worse this season, they're pretty much guaranteeing themselves going to be in the top 3 worst teams after this trade because they have absolutely nobody. They're going to be in the top 5, and they can have a wing, and then they can start moving forward with Jonathan Isaac next to him.
Yeah. Josh, what's up?
Oh, I was the trade that I forgot about too, the Mo Wagner one for the Wizards. I just don't know what the Wizards have. I just don't know what their plan is. That trade, I don't know what that trade does for Washington. The Mo Wagner one. I was trying to pull it up so I could make sure to get all the names.
Wagner's heading to Boston.
Yeah, but it was the initial one where they sent
Also,
Daniel Gafford.
Well, their original return, their original return was what's the gain here? I don't know.
It
I
was
just don't know
Daniel
what
Gafford
Washington's
and Chandler
plan is.
Hutchinson.
Yeah, yeah. The
Gosh, yeah,
the Wizards are a mess.
Yeah, it
not
was
great.
Troy Brown. It was Troy Brown and Wagner for Chandler Hutchinson and Gafford. And it's just, I guess they like Gafford. Is he better than Wagner? Maybe they just want Robin Lopez to go Rolo time. No, I really don't know what's going on there. It doesn't really make too much sense. And Troy Brown is a kind of really disappointing guy. Chandler Hutchinson has been hidden. Nobody even talks about him much anymore. It's very just I don't even know maybe there's some money things there. I don't know their contracts. So looks like former Thunder forward James Johnson's getting sent out again.
Oh no, not James Johnson.
Yeah, so I guess they remember they traded for James Johnson to us. We got Justin Jackson back and for a two second round picks, right? Isn't that right?
I believe so.
It was Ariza, Justin Jackson, and 2 second round picks for James Johnson, I think. And then we traded Ariza for a second round pick, and now they just traded James Johnson, Wes Iwundu, and a second round pick for JJ Redick and Nicola Melli.
Oh my God, that's that Dallas team right there. I like that they got a shooter. Don't know enough about Melli, but wow,
he's another shooter. I've always liked Melli. He reminds me of what was his name? Crap, the guy got punched by Bobby Portis.
Oh, well, it was Milicic, right?
Was that his name? It's something similar to that. But he went back and he's playing in Europe now. But they have similar games. But Melly's, I feel like he's a guy where he'll shoot and he'll do really good one game, but one game he'll go 0-for-6, and the whole fan base of New Orleans just throws him out to the dirt. So he's just one of those players.
I didn't even know. I almost said I didn't even know New Orleans had a fan base, but I don't want to start another war. So
no, don't do that. We went down this road.
Oh no, just
we went down this road. There's no way. No, I guess I'll just chill. I was gonna say there's no way that the Pelicans have a base like the Pistons do. I would think, but
oh man,
boy, who knows?
We don't want to wake up like, the Pelly Hive or whatever they're going to call themselves.
My goodness. My goodness.
Nikola Mirotic is who it was.
Yes, Mirotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forgot about him.
Anyways, it looks like go ahead, Josh, sorry.
Oh, no, I just to put a bow on the Wizards thing. Mo Wagner, then the Bulls flipped him. Yeah, I didn't even realize that the Bulls flipped him to the Celtics. So that trade made no sense for the Wizards, but anyway.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's been a weird day. There's been a lot of moving parts with a lot of random players. Also, you've had the bigger name guys, but there's been a lot of trades that haven't been the biggest name. So I'm just trying to keep track of who's on what team at this point.
It's been a lot of quiet, and then a bunch of stuff with the Magic. And then a little bit more quiet, waited for the end, and didn't really get
I don't know how Kyle Lowry ended up not getting moved, and I don't know how Lonzo Ball didn't end up getting moved. Those seem like two of the more obvious. But
Ball, I'm okay. I get a little bit more, but man, I gotta say, the Raptors really botched it not getting rid of Lowry. It was time.
They kind of need to tear it, not tear it down. That sounds a little extreme, but they need something. They need to kind of start over in a sense a little bit, and that would have been a nice start dealing Kyle Lowry. But I didn't understand the rumors Lakers, willing to give up Dennis, who obviously we're partial to, but Dennis and KCP possibly, and maybe Montrezl Harrell, all these names floating around. And I'm just thinking, boy, that seems like a lot to give up for Kyle Lowry, who's obviously an older player, and then. Who even knows what this season's going to be with LeBron and Anthony Davis's health? It just seemed like a really big risk to do that to me if I was the Lakers.
It seemed like a bit of a mess, but one thing's for sure, it looks like Sam Presti isn't going to sneak in with another deal, so it looks like the roster is set, and we'll just continue it on for the next little run here.
Does Austin Rivers ever play in a Thunder jersey?
I'm going to say
that's
yes.
Probably the question of the day.
I'm going to say yes, but he's not going to like it. Jameson?
Yeah, we need to cut one person. So I don't know if My guess is if we release Myers Leonard and then we buy out Austin Rivers and we go with 14 players on our roster. Because, if we can get a discount and not have to pay Austin Rivers this season, we're going to do it. So say if he's making $3 million, if we can just pay him $2 million to go get rid of him right now, that's an extra $1 million in our books. And plus, we don't want to play him. We'd rather play our young guys. So I figure that we're going to ride with 14 players moving forward.
Yeah, I'm cool with it, but it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out from here. But all I know, we're probably your favorite player is probably safe for now. So rejoice, Thunder fans, on that one. But
well, I would hope your favorite player is not one of the guys we were talking about trading.
If your favorite player was, I don't know, Tony Bradley somehow, like for the last 2 hours, I don't know what to tell you. But
I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see Tony Bradley, though. I can talk myself into being excited about him. So
hey, I've talked myself into Moses Brown. I can talk myself into Tony Bradley.
Well, Moses is a walking double-double, so
he is. He absolutely is. But Jameson, Josh, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. This has been a blast. And thank y'all for watching. So we'll see you on Saturday night, where the Thunder will take on the new and improved Boston Celtics. But either way, it'll be fun.
Evan Fournier?
Yeah. I guess Evan Fournier and, yeah.
Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner.
There you go. Good. Danny Ainge did it again, baby. But
championship or bust.
Ugh, what a mess. But anyways, that's all we got. So y'all enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see y'all later. Thunder up.